Angela Myers here to elevate your mind, body, and spirit. So today is a follow-up on a video I did about the different types of love. Today we're going to talk about different types of intimacy and how to have more intimacy in your relationships. You can use these tools that I'm about to give you in all your relationships, but I'm going to be specifically talking about romantic relationships today. The first type of intimacy I'm going to talk about is recreational intimacy. Now, this is when you're doing things together, you're having experiences together, you're enjoying things together, and you're building intimacy through your shared life experiences. So this would be if you like to go to the gym together, if you like to travel together, or try new restaurants, or go shopping together, whatever that is, things that you are doing, enjoying, and exploring and experiencing together. That's really important. And I see a lot of couples that have been together for a while, they lose this aspect, and they stop enjoying this aspect together. So that's an easy place to start. If there's intimacy missing in your relationship, start with experiential intimacy and start building things that you can try out together, explore together, do together. Then we have intellectual intimacy. And this is where you share ideas that stimulate each other. So you could watch a documentary and maybe discuss that afterwards, or you could both be reading the same book and then talk about what you're learning in that book. Or you could be, talking about an issue that's going on in the world and stimulating each other in that way. Obviously, asking each other questions and their thoughts about certain topics. You could even have this type of intimacy when you're planning things together. You're using your minds together to create something. Then we have emotional intimacy. And this is when we're sharing our hearts. We're sharing our feelings, not our thoughts, our feelings. That are maybe our fears and our dreams and our hopes, or things that are dear and near to our heart, things that we would tell our closest friend. And this requires listening, understanding, curiosity, an openness to each other, a desire to learn about each other. And a lot of couples are missing this one too. There is a research study that they took two complete strangers and they had them ask each other a series of progressively more intimate questions while they were making eye contact. And they could predictably make two strangers fall in love when they took them through this process, because there's something that happens when you're making eye contact and you're asking more and more intimate questions of each other, and you're sharing on that level. A bond is formed. So if that's something that's hard for you in your relationship, I'm actually going to tag a list of questions below that you could use to take out to coffee or to have dinner or sit down with a glass of wine and walk each other through these questions and just get to know each other again. Over time, sometimes we get out of touch with each other, and the fact is that we continue to grow and develop and have experiences and are different people as time goes on, and it's so important to keep that connection there, to keep that emotional intimacy, to keep learning and growing. I've counseled couples where they'll often say to me, I feel like I don't even know them anymore, and it's true. So keeping emotional intimacy there is a beautiful thing in a relationship, and I'll tag some questions there to help foster that if that's something that you want to explore in your relationship with your partner. And lastly, obviously, we have physical and sexual intimacy. So the physical intimacy can just be things like holding hands and hugging and kissing and touching each other throughout the day. Those things are super important to show affection. And then obviously sexual intimacy. And sadly, this area is so important for couples to maintain and to give intentionality to it. I feel that it should grow on the same level that a couple's wanting to grow closer, maybe emotionally, or maybe build a family and build a future together, and they're growing that way. This sexual intimacy should grow as well. And sadly, in many couples, over time, the sexual intimacy gets worse and it gets less frequent and less enjoyable. And I feel that it takes a great deal of intentionality to keep that there and to honor that need for both of you to have sexual intimacy, to keep the relationship well bonded and happy and healthy, and to keep both people's needs met. It's very important to take your partner's sexual needs seriously. If you made a commitment to your partner and you expect them to be exclusive and to be faithful to that, then it's very important to take care of your partner's body and sexual needs and to honor that. If they're entrusting you to no one else in the world, but they've entrusted their sexual needs and their need for sexual intimacy to you, to honor that and to do everything that you can to learn how to please and grow with your partner in that area, as they should reciprocate for you as well. And that's something that I feel that a lot of people lose, and it actually negatively affects the relationship. I think sex was given to us to deepen and enhance our bond as couples, because there's no one else. If you're in a committed exclusive relationship. There's no one else in the world that can do that for your partner except you. That's a privilege that you have, and something that should not be taken lightly or disregarded or feel some disdain about it, like it's a chore, but it's actually an honor to do that for each other and to grow in sexual intimacy. So that's my little plug on that. And I hope that you found, as you're listening through, if there's some that's missing in your relationship, I don't want you to be roommates. I want you to have a fulfilling, amazing love life. And so bringing some of these form of intimacies back into it will make it feel so much richer, so much more exciting to be in, and enhance the overall quality of your life when you're getting more intimacy in that relationship. So as you've listened, maybe one stuck out to you. Maybe you need to have more experiences together. Maybe you need to have more intellectual stimulation with each other. Maybe you need to have more emotional connection. Or maybe there needs to be more physical and sexual intimacy there. Either way, take this information, maybe share it with your partner, and I'll tag some tips below for how you can practically do that. And I wish you an amazing relationship.